there. There's so many people out for. Sorry, where's my camera? I want to look at you. Okay. So there's so many people who are out for interviews and who are working on their storytelling skills. And what I notice when I'm rehearsing with people who are looking at who are working on their storytelling skills is they're very stiff. So they're very stiff in their bodies. And it might be because we're spending, sorry, my dog's trying to get in, because we're spending so much time just talking to screens that we have forgotten how to use our bodies. But I'm finding people are really quite stiff. And when I say, when you're getting ready for the job interview, practice saying things out loud, like practice saying it aloud. And when I say that, then the way that they're practicing out loud is to like grab their piece of paper and just stand and do it. The very like a big part of storytelling is the story and the elements of story, but when you actually have to speak it, when you are saying it to someone, so much is about how you're using your body, right? It's about like the pauses and the voices that you use and all of that, but a big part of it is using your body. So if you're telling several, like in a job interview, if you're telling several stories about yourself and you're just a screen, when you don't mix it up a little bit with some body language, by expressing yourself in different ways, it can start to really feel like one tone. And I think we've all seen that. So I would like to teach you an exercise today on how we can start to develop some of the skills that help us to express, develop the way that we express ourselves so that we can develop creativity, so that we can develop bounce, some spontaneity, and be okay in trusting our bodies, right? Yeah, absolutely. Awareness is so huge. So the practice that I'm teaching today is a mindfulness practice. And so often in mindfulness, people think it's, we sit with our eyes closed and we meditate. And that's absolutely a big part of mindfulness. But another mindfulness practice that was used only by like a small group of monks would do this practice, and it's called spontaneous body. Beautiful. Yeah, it's called automove. So we're gonna try this exercise. The cool thing is that you can try automove. You can try it. It doesn't need to be a 10-minute practice. It could be you're sitting at your computer and you go, okay, for 1 minute, I'm just going to let my body move how it wants to and be open to that experience. And you can allow that to happen. So it doesn't need to be a long time. We're going to do a short, like 5-minute practice. So maybe to first just warm up. And again, you can do this practice. I'm doing it standing up. If you're sitting, you can do it sitting down. If you happen to be lying down, like you can do it lying down too. We're sitting, standing, on the floor, whatever works for you. But first, let's just practice tuning into our bodies and being intentional about our movement. So with your body, can you make your body as small as it can get? What does that look like? Make your body as small as it can get. I'm going to kind of hunch on a stool, but can you make your body as small as it can get? And just hold it. And just hold it. And then you can come out. So the cool thing about that is that we had the intention. So we knew that we wanted to make her body small. That was our intention. We told our body, like, "Hey, I'm going to get small," and we smushed in, however, whatever small looked like for each of us, it would look different. And when we did it, we may not have had an idea of what it was going to look like. When I got small, I was surprised because my toes started to I got squished down on the stool, and then my toes kind of curled in, and that was like my body was like, we can go even smaller. I didn't think, oh, I have to make my toes even smaller. So our bodies are doing things spontaneously without us even being aware of it. We're aware it's doing stuff anyhow, and we can trust that it's doing that. Um, and we can have the intention, and we're safe, and also everybody, each one of you, if you actually physically got small, you would all our smalls would look different, right? So if we were in a classroom together, all being small, we would all look different, and nobody would be doing it wrong. So our bodies can also express themselves in unique ways, and we can honor that. That's wonderful. Okay, let's try the opposite of that. Can you make your body as big as it possibly can be? Can you make it as big? I'm gonna back up. How big can you make your body? Right? And again, we had the intention, right? So we had the intention of, I'm going to make my body as big as it can be. But we did not know what it was going to look like. And all our bigs would look different. Some of you might have been like this, like, like big, like heavy, whereas I was going light and trying to stretch out. So again, we can take on unique shapes, and we can tell our bodies, and we may not know what it ends up looking like. If we are always telling our bodies what to do, so if in a day you're not doing anything unusual with your body, you wake up the same, you do the same kind of stretch when you wake up, you go to the washroom, the way that you make like the way that you make coffee or tea in the morning, the way that you sit and meditate, the way you sit at your office chair, the way you watch TV, if the way that you are always walking around your day to day is the same movements, and it's just like a little bit of stretch, um, you know, crossing your arms probably a lot, maybe slumping, this is all your body knows how to do. And when you're trying to tell an interesting story and trying to connect, if you only have this small limit, you're limiting your abilities as a storyteller. So we're now going to try this thing called automove. Um, it looks really silly. I'll just start with that. You're going to see it, and anyone who didn't hear this introduction might go, what is Carrie doing? But what I'm doing is just going, okay, so how about I just let my body just practice trusting it and practice letting it express itself. And let's see what it does when I stop being the person who has to control the movement, and I just allow movement to go through me. And the more I do a practice like this, the more comfortable I get when I am speaking to people in the way that I might express myself and the way that my body moves, that helps people get interested in the stories that I'm telling. And the more comfortable I feel in my body, because, we trust each other. So here's how it works. We are simply going to start from a neutral spot. You can close your eyes if you want or have them open. And what you're paying attention to is any sort of urge you have, like a bubbling up, that your body wants to move. And it's not, you're not going, oh, I'm going to raise my hand. It's more you're noticing an urge from within your body that's saying, like, I want to do this. And the question I like to ask is just, how do you want to move right now? And then you just allow. And there's no judgment. See, it's great we're all working from home, right? There's no judgment in how it expresses. You're just allowing it and seeing, hey, if you were in charge, how might you move? And if you find yourself judging the movement, just come back, try to come back to neutral and just wait for that urge. And your movements might be really small. They might be micro. If you're sitting, it might just be a little movement with your finger. Or it might be huge movements or fast movements. Mine are slow today. So we're just paying attention and allowing our bodies to move in a way that they want to, and just being open to allowing it. And this is very low stakes, right? You don't have a camera on you, but it's low stakes. So moving in an unusual way might open something up for us, will make us more expressive people. But there's no job on the line. I'm not going to lose anything by doing this. And you might be using more of the room. I'm kind of staying a little in one spot. If you are at a desk or at work and you're like, Carrie, I can't just flail around, you might just to give permission for everything from the shoulders up to move how it wants to. But how are we going to express ourselves in new ways, in unique ways, if we never even listen to our bodies? We never play. You get distracted by the movement, you can just go, yeah, come back to that urge. How does my body want to move? And then we're going to slowly bring it back, slowly come back to our bodies. And now is a good time at the end of an auto move practice is a good time to tune in and just go, how did that feel? Do I feel happier? Do I feel like I have more energy and bounce? And it's not that you're going to, it's not that I did this movement and that's going to become part of the way that I tell a story. But I know that when I do tell a story, that I am more open in my body to express myself and make it better, a better experience for me and a better experience for the person I'm telling it to. So I like to do this practice short, usually 1 to 5 minutes, a couple times a week, just to make sure that I'm staying in touch with my body, and helping to do practices that nurture my creativity and my expression and my energy and allow that bounce in my life, right? So thank you for joining me for this short practice. I hope it was enjoyable for you. Yeah, and happy auto moving and happy storytelling. Beautiful to see you. Okay, bye.